And welcome back to the McAllen Cable Network. I'm Roxanne Lerma. Joining us in the studio today, our Deputy Chief from U.S. Border Patrol, Mr. Raul Ortiz. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we're talking good things today. Tell us about Operation Detour.
Operation Detour is a drug awareness program that the Border Patrol has instituted to help, one, give back to the community and to educate our young adults on some of the dangers associated with getting involved in criminal activity. One of the things that we found, and we do find along the southwest border from San Diego all the way down to Brownsville, is that some of these criminal organizations like to target our young high school age and junior high age students because they think that they're vulnerable. So we put together a program to sort of bring some awareness and education, and then this is our opportunity to give back to the community. So
I was actually browsing through the brochure, read a little bit about the story, and then I just kind of put the pieces together right before this interview. You're the guy. It came about because of an experience that you had, so tell us about that.
Yeah, so I have two children. I have a 24-year-old daughter and a 21-year-old son.
Wow.
And back in about 2007, my daughter went out with a young man who was from a border community. I lived in Del Rio, Texas, which is up the river here. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that occurred a few months later is that young man was involved in some narcotics trafficking. He was arrested with about 500 pounds of marijuana. And this kid came from a good family. His brother was serving overseas at the time in Iraq. His mother worked for the police department. His father, you know, held an important job there in the community. And I thought to myself, if this could happen to him, this could happen to anybody. And I also have a brother who's in law enforcement with DPS. And he and I had a discussion about how often this occurs. And we realized that it happens quite a bit, not just in Del Rio, but he was stationed down here in the valley, and we knew it was occurring down here. So we wanted to do something and put a program together to help educate. And the original Operation Detour program we rolled out in about 2008. And believe it or not, RGV probably did the best job amongst all our southwest border sectors. I think we were able to educate about 200,000 kids on the dangers associated with this.
It's a lot of kids.
It is. And you've got a huge population down in the valley, very susceptible to some of these dangers. And what we wanted to do, I arrived here about a year ago, and we talked about refreshing the program. And so I've got an amazing communications department. We were talking about, you know, our new communications director, Edma Chapa.
Right.
And I asked if they would be willing to go back to the drawing board, look at the old Detour program and refresh it. And what we did is we were able to put some videos together and some presentations. And this isn't just a Border Patrol initiative. We're working with our interagency partners, DPS, the Sheriff's Department, the FBI, DEA, the local police departments, just great cooperation amongst all of them. And I think we're pretty excited about the new program.
So you reach out to the kids in hopes that they're going to take it home to the parents? Is that the way it works?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, right now we're really hitting some of the high schools, but I think there's also an opportunity to bring awareness to adults, to civic groups and communities and churches. And so, you know, our target audience right now is to hit as many of the schools as we possibly can. But as we start to, you know, develop the program and refine some of the things, we're still working on one more piece of the video programming, and once that happens, I think what we hope to do is be able to get it out to the whole community. I think that, and what you're going to find is that I bet that you're going to see this program rolled out nationally. We've had some conversation with our headquarters up in Washington, D.C., and they're pretty excited about it also.
In your situation with the young man that you experienced this with, as you mentioned, I mean, very decent background, great parents. It's scary. I mean, anybody can fall prey to this. So what do the students need to know to protect themselves and be on the lookout?
One, you know, one of the things, there's some misinformation that occurs out there. I think a lot of the criminal organizations, you know, they may tell these young adults that, hey, there's no consequences because you're a juvenile or you're a teenager, you know, you're not going to get prosecuted. But that's not actually factual. What happens more often than not is if somebody is arrested, right off the bat, you're going to have a record, and you're going to inhibit yourself from benefiting from, you know, college opportunities, educational or work opportunities. You're not going to be able to join the military, and then not to mention the impact that it has to you and your family. I mean, there are costs associated with defending yourself if you're involved in some sort of criminal act, and then the fact that it's just dangerous. And so, you know, I think the border communities are probably more susceptible,
yeah.
Because there may not be as many opportunities, but what we want to try and show is that there are. I mean, there are folks that really, really care about the young adults in our communities, and we want to serve as role models, but we also want to message that, you know, there are some other things that you can do to help make your life a better opportunity to be able to do some things out there, whether it be, you know, joining the ranks of law enforcement,
sure.
or whether it's, you know, going to school. We've got some great partnerships. We've got Explorer programs. Most of the police departments do, and so we want our young adults to take advantage of those.
Yeah, we want them to do the right way.
Yes.
So this is a great joint effort. If folks are at home, maybe, you know, there's mom and dad, and they're wanting to know more about Operation Detour, where can they go for that?
So what we're doing is we're putting some information on our website, but I think probably the best thing to do is to communicate through your schools.
Okay.
We're going to continue to have outreach efforts to all our schools. We've got a team dedicated 100% to these presentations. In fact, my team briefed me this morning that we've already reached about 20,000 kids just in the first month.
Really?
So our goal was to hit 50,000 this year, and I think we're going to surpass that.
Yeah, I think you are. If you're at 20, then you're probably going to surpass that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Deputy Chief Raul Ortiz, thank you so much for joining us in the studio, and we certainly hope that you got some valuable information on Operation Detour. For the City of McAllen, I'm Roxanne Lerma.